Oh, there we go. Alright, so we are live with that. I can pause and give our good buddy Mokog a call. I feel like Mr. Rogers saying that. Alright, here we go. I'll move this over here. Hey, there we go.
I think I'm here.
Yeah.
I believe I'm here.
It appears that you're here to me.
Sweet.
And it looks like we got sound working, all that other good stuff. We should be pretty good here. What else are we doing? I didn't send you video on accident, did I?
No, I do not have your video.
Good.
Though
what were you saying?
might be face cut off slightly.
No.
Are we?
No, we should be good.
I feel slightly face cut off.
No, you're totally fine.
Well, because I sort of like my whole chin is not. Oh wait.
Oh, yeah.
If I sit up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's just you're sitting kind of close. Anyhow, we are. And the Twitter post is live if you want to retweet that.
Oh, I totally retweeted that son of a gun.
Oh, there you go.
Well, and we already got like 6 people.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be getting more than 6 though today. So welcome back to the General Tent after a brief week vacation. We were once again not here last weekend, or not weekend, but well, we also weren't here on the weekend, of course, but we also weren't here on Wednesday. That's what I meant to say, because there was exciting news with all the PvE shenanigans going on. Hey, yeah. Kilikaji, welcome to the stream, and thanks for tuning in. Yeah. And we got Hacky, and we got that 6 people hype going, and Meowsif. Maybe we'll have to have Calix do it.
I'm honest with you, Function. I was here on Wednesday. It's just that they didn't let me talk on Wednesday because I would have been like,
right?
PV squee.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been here too. Actually, I even had a time slot on the official stream marathon thing, but something else came up, and you know, it is what it is. But yeah, hey, everybody's joining in all of a sudden. That's very awesome. But welcome back to the General Tent. This is should be another awesome episode. We've got a lot to talk about today, and we want to just go ahead and dive right in with the outline, Mokog?
Sure thing.
Okay.
So, so the Down and Dirty outline, we had a bunch of stuff come out last week and some good info released today. Everything from what we thought about the Streamerathon. They're bringing the test server back up. It wasn't just a one-time event. Talk about later. We got some community fun stuff going down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing to talk about. There is a lot of stuff, I mean, just besides PvE to talk about, but PvE is almost a thing where we could just talk about it the entire episode and still be going on and on. Yeah, thanks for the happy birthday. I'm still trying to, I'm not saying still trying to figure out what the stream. I was trying to do some sort of birthday stream, but it looks like that's not going to happen. It was just, had some stuff going on last week, and then with everything else, it's just been really busy lately. I might still do one Sunday.
Everyone, is you need to send him instant messages and emails and PMs on the forums and nag him into doing something, and then he'll do it.
Actually, I mean, not to encourage people to do that, but I think if I was nagged, I definitely would. It's just like my laziness gets the best of me, and it's been hectic lately. So yeah,
I'm telling you, we listen to everyone who sends us messages, and if you send us a message,
probably. Although I will say, on the forums note, probably don't PM me on the forums because I think my inbox is full, and I haven't cleared it out in a long time because it was full a while ago. So yeah, but I'm just gemming up these troops for my, and it should be pretty fun for today's stream. Every stream we always try to come up with something fun to play against each other. But did we actually?
We're going to knock out our giveaways. We'll crack our pack, and then we will wrap up with our standard shameless plugs. Which, if you are new to the channel and we are somehow on the front page again, be sure that you visit the main site at the place that I'm putting in the chat a few moments before you hear this, because that's what cool people do.
Yeah, it is what cool people do, and and also cool people are able to put gems in the correct sockets. So we want to start off. I mean, we have a lot of stuff to talk about with last week's test server, not only with PvE, but all kinds of quality of life functionality. And what is going to be for today, maybe?
Yes.
So,
how about test server dreams.
Okay, test server dreams. I'll get that typed up. Don't start entering it quite yet because the title, like I have to actually turn it all on. But I will start configuring it, and we can get that set up. We'll just call it test server.
Yes, because the test server becomes available again for this weekend. We're going to get all sorts of fun stuff going on there. We're going to get more test server footage, which is also good. Because I used my most recent test server footage in something crazy and stupid and terribly embarrassing, which we will only mention in passing now.
Yeah, I found it incredibly entertaining. I did record a couple videos, but then they were a little bit too buggy. I mean, as everybody knows who played last week, and there were a lot of bugs going on, and the AI was making weird plays. I feel like it didn't really showcase the game as well as I wanted it to, and so I'm probably just gonna, wait till everything's a little bit more stable and a little bit more honed down, and then we can try it again. Before we keep going, I will say that's one thing that's really encouraging is that they're firing it up again, like back-to-back weeks. Just like, I feel like that's a good sign for us, because there's a lot of stuff still to work on, but it just shows that they are working on it pretty hard, and I'm pretty excited to see, like, over the course of 1 week, if we even see, like, what kind of changes we see, because it would be pretty sweet if, like, there were even anything noticeable. Would be a pretty big deal to me, at least. So.
Well, yeah, because I mean, a lot of what we're seeing, I don't think is front-end user instances. So it's stuff I don't think that they would have to like roll out a patch to us for. A lot of what I think we're seeing is stuff where they've just got to optimize things on the back-end servers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when they roll out a patch, they're going to roll out a patch that patches the servers and patches the clients when they're ready for it, of course. But they can have, on a test server like this, they can have the same kind of turnaround they did in alpha. Because in alpha, if they need to turn something around, they could do it in a couple days.
Yeah, they really do.
That was one of the fun parts about being in alpha, is that you had this evolving experience as things were quickly getting fixed. And that slowed down in beta because beta was open to a lot more people, and we had a lot more say because you didn't have a copy of everything in your account at that point.
Yeah.
So you had to be, the pressure to be more accurate on your patching is a lot more, needs to be a lot higher quality when you're doing patches in beta. And so now that they're back to the test server, it's essentially like you have alpha PvE, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's kind of crunch time. I mean, on that note, I had like early access to the server because I was initially planning to be part of the marathon, like we were saying last week, and then things fell through for me. But they patched that a couple times in less than like a 48-hour window, and even those patches were pretty dramatic. Like a lot of changes, just fixing art assets or broken links or cards totally. Like they actually, over the course of a very short amount of time, a couple days, managed to change quite a bit, which is awesome. And it just goes to show I'm excited to see what we'll see this weekend. I don't think, I wouldn't expect the AI revamp to be anytime super soon, but it's probably not too far off. I mean, I think that's something that they're working on parallel to this, but just it's not what we're seeing. And when it's ready kind of thing, not just in pieces. Yeah. So I'm excited on the AI part because that's going to be like a big part of the arena. Right now, the arena obviously feels really easy, but I think it's mainly because, the AI needs to get some improvement, and that part is coming. It's just that's not the part we're really testing, I figure.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, like my experience with some of the AI is, depending on your deck constructs, and we don't want to go too far, depending on how you constructed a deck and how you've been playing, and your degree in card stock depends on your ease in the game. But there are things about that we should talk about a little bit later. But what's really important is that it's coming back up, and they're also they rescheduled the tournament they were planning last week, and they are doing it on your birthday, sir. Yeah.
So on the tournament, so they canceled the tournament last week, and at first there were some people who were a little bit grumbly about it on the forums. They're in the typical, sky is falling type posts that people want to make. But when you really think about it, it's like, did you want to play a tournament last weekend? Like, the server was really slow. Once all that many people were playing Arena, and I'm sure that, on the back end, they have to kind of work out all those things that'll slow down the game, like sending multiple messages that weren't important for the server and whatnot, that things were going slow enough that like I didn't want to play a tournament last weekend. Sure, cancel it and reschedule it, because that's obviously the smart thing to do. And especially if the whole purpose is to test things, they want to have everything set up so that the like test parameters on their end are optimal and they're getting the best possible data and getting everything that they need to fix it. And it feels like last weekend, all the data they would have probably been getting regards to testing the tournament would have just been overshadowed by the data from the arena and everything.
All right, so here's how I imagine this is going on behind the scenes over at HexHQ.
Okay.
So they open up the test server. We start trickling in. So at first they're monitoring the 24-hour stream, like, okay, this is looking good. This is looking good. All right, it's coming down for a few hours, and we're going to do a couple quick patches, enable and disable. And Data Dragon's like, got it. Good. We've got everything. My reports are good. Awesome. And then it goes live. And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, well, this is an odd thing on the report, and little data gremlins start popping up and stealing all of Data Dragon's data.
All the gem snatchers.
Like, no, the gem snatchers are here. They're destroying all my artifacts. No!
Those gem snatchers.
I must destroy all of the little gremlin data thingies.
Okay.
And then I imagine he had a small breakdown, and then it ended, and then he killed them all because he played Extinction, and then he's like, okay, my data is pristine again. We can patch.
So we completely forgot about we kind of segued right into this before we did the giveaway. So the giveaway is going to be ! test server to celebrate this weekend, having it come back again. And for giveaways, I think we'll obviously do the crack pack, right?
Yep.
We'll do the draft code. Those are auto ones. We'll do a 50 and a 75 again, I figure, right?
Sounds good.
Do we want to? And then, so it'll be 4 giveaways today, or do we want to have a 5th in there? I mean, because we didn't do some last week.
If we have the stuff to give away, and because we didn't do last one, I say let's do 5 giveaways.
Okay, so I think probably the third, the pre, what do we call it? Viewers one will be maybe some packs or something like that. Does that sound good? Or do we want to maybe do some gold? What sounds better? Packs, gold.
You know what? Let's go with packs because. Okay. We're all going to be able, as soon as they release and we move from test server to beta server, we'll all be able to hit gold.
Yeah.
I think the packs are going to be, I think I like packs.
Okay.
Like I say, I like packs. You can use packs to draft, you can crack packs open, and sometimes packs are just more awesome.
In that case, currently I have quite a few set 1 packs, and I think today, everybody's excited about set 2. But in order to ease things in, I think we'll give away 3 set 1 packs. How's that?
That works.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good. So those are the first 3 giveaways: are the crack pack, the 3 set 1 packs, a draft code, and then we have the 50 and the 75. Or do we want to do 75 and 100? I'd say 50 and 75.
I say 50 and 75 this time because we went up to 60, we dropped down to 30. I think they saw that I was yelling at people. They're like, "Oh God!"
All right, so we'll do 50 and 75. Currently, we're at 30, so we'll see how that goes. And what do we want to do for 50 and 75? Maybe at 75, we'll do the second draft code, and what'll be the 51? We could tie it into our Jankbot dream right now.
Well, I got an extra copy of Jankbot. We can give away a Jankbot at 50.
Okay. We'll do 2 Jankbots. I'll throw one in, you'll throw one in, and we'll do that.
Half a playset. That'll work.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So those will be the 5 giveaways for today. And even Dark Shadows in here is saying do set 1 packs. Let me catch up on chat real quick because it looks like a bunch of people were saying stuff in here. Hacky was saying, do we see the Hex jobs opening? I have that actually on our show notes, and we will be mentioning that very briefly today because that's pretty exciting. I was excited to see that, and I would probably be even applying for some of those had I not just moved to Chicago and had I not been trying to do big things myself right now. But yeah, that's exciting. Back to the show notes, though. We were talking about the test server, and we were kind of talking more about, so far, the testing experience rather than the arena experience. You want to talk about the arena experience a little bit? What some of the highlights for you were, maybe, Mokog?
Well, one of my highlights, I gotta be honest, so everyone's first exposure, of course, was the stream with Corey Jones and all of the shenanigans that happened at that point, and just the wonderful oration we received during that stream. I think was a fantastic intro, and if I could just like bottle that up and put it as a sound file, which I might in the future updates turn it into a sound file. I think that was just a good experience because it kind of gives you that idea of the arena is supposed to be this kind of almost over the top experience when you first get into it. Because you got frost everywhere. All of a sudden you're facing like ice clones of characters.
Did you get my challenge?
Maybe. Yes. Okay. Yes, I did.
But continue.
And especially getting in there, so there's a lot of little lore things that I started picking up and spotting and how things were going.
There were some nice little lore drops there.
Some little, there's devil in the details all through there, and I think it would be really wise for people when they get into this test server next to go ahead and really pay close attention to the small details, because they're dropping in lore this way about the zone, and it gives us a really good indication of kind of how they're wanting to do PvE. And I shouldn't keep this hand, but I'm going to.
Oh, I'm definitely keeping this hand. I cannot play 3 of the cards in this hand, but the one card that I can play is the only one I'll need to play all game, I think.
Looks like we both drew a jank bot then.
Nope. Oh, you had a jank bot? Well, that's pretty dream. So maybe
Oh god, that's gonna hurt.
Oh, did you just cheat and look at my hand?
Well, yeah, because I had to go check the stream. Well, now I'm going to cover it up, but I'm about to get wrecked.
Yeah, well, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely going to keep this. This seems pretty solid. That fist, though, gets there pretty good.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Anyway, so we were talking about your highlights from testing?
Yeah, so now I didn't clear all the way through to the end, because almost every time I would get in like 3 games in or so, it would really slog down, and that caused a bit of an issue. I have a really good set of patience, but 5 minutes a turn was not something I'd like to experience just for the test side of it. And I did the same thing during alpha, like when they were in the really early rough alpha stage, and they were working on server stuff. I'm like, I'm willing to wait until next time.
Caius is my hero over there, saying I can hardly wait. Oh, so good. But yeah, I was pretty excited. I mean, going along the same lines of what you were saying, I had a couple times where I was going undefeated, and I was in like round 16 or round 14, something like that, and I hadn't lost, and it was looking really good for me. And then
total dream.
That is pretty dream right there. And then Ureg would appear. I was like, oh, get wrecked. Oh, what? You are. This is ridiculous.
I had the top deck, the diamond, to do this. Okay.
That invincible though, that's gonna be pretty nasty. Yeah. And okay, so Jackson Milling was saying the server was running super fast for the last couple of days. You know what I will say is, this is one I wanted to touch on. I blanked out on it. Is when I had kind of like the early access before it was available to everybody.
Yeah.
I almost dropped the wrong card there. Shoot, what was it? The server was running so smoothly. Like, it was running quicker than it currently does live. And I would imagine just because like there were only probably 10 users on the server, and so it's like driving on what do they call it, the lane? I can't,
fast lane?
On the fast lane, but it actually has a name. I'm totally blanking out. Whatever that lane is called, and I feel really dumb for not getting it.
You're on the HOV lane?
No.
Zip lane?
No.
It's probably different depending on what state you're in.
Yeah, it's totally different regionally. But anyways, the fast lane, and you're in there, or the express lane, or whatever you want to call it. It was like that. You had it all to yourself, and you're just cruising along. Like, it was so smooth and quick and fast. It was pretty sweet, and it was very, very nice. I liked it quite a bit, and that was definitely a nice thing. And not nice thing here is you with your Queen Grace over there with life drain.
Oh yeah, I'm going to do my best to. Well, she's not going to be able to attack with life drain. Let's be honest.
So we're both playing Jankbot decks. I love how like huge the deck looks and how it's all blurred and blurred with the cards there with the sleeves and everything.
Giant.
So Mokog's doing like kind of a humans theme. I'm just kind of doing a 3-color good stuff theme. The 3 colors isn't working out so well for me, but it doesn't really matter because I've got the fist, and we're gonna make that pretty real right now. We're just gonna start swinging with that, and that might be all we even need. We're only gonna do 1 damage here, so we're not gonna kill anything. Hopefully we just hit Mokog in the face, and he's going to reduce the cost of one of his troops.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so I hit Queen Grace, whoop-de-doo. No, nothing exciting this turn, but next turn we'll start hopefully killing things pretty quick and start doing some real stuff. But yeah, I was definitely pretty excited about playing on the arena. It was really cool to see for the first time. I really liked kind of the what would you call them, like events, or kind of like the achievement unlock, the challenges that would pop up. That's probably a good way of calling them, is challenges. That while you were fighting randomly, sometimes you would say like, oh, you have to gain 30 life, or you have to do 15 damage in a turn, or all these different things. Those were really exciting for me. They had like a lot of flavor and fun to them. For me, I really enjoyed those, and most of them you got like a buff after you beat it, that when you went to the boss fight you would get some stuff. I remember there was one, it was buff of the brawler, and you start with turn 1 an arena brawler in play, and holy crap, that was pretty strong. Being able to do that, that's a pretty good card to draw. And we'll go ahead.
Here's this awesome thing I'm going to try to do.
We'll try to punch you, maybe kill something here. Okay, so you're gonna give her invincible, sure.
And hopefully you target
and hopefully hit the sword trainer.
Nope, you hit me.
No,
in the
I
face.
hit you. Okay, well that's fine. At least it was something. It didn't hit the Queen Grace or the other one, and now we're gonna be potentially killing whatever we hit, which is pretty good. So we're gonna be in a little bit better shape here. But I had a lot of fun with that. All the achievements were pretty cool. Seeing the different encounters and how they definitely come up with some strong thematically flavored decks was pretty cool. I liked that a lot, and I really liked some of the champion powers in there. It's like, holy crap, I want to play with some of these champion powers. That there was one, it was like the moss deck, the shambling moss or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It was like a swamp thing flavored one, and it had like the Oberon's no, it was the one that based on how many charges you use, it puts a troop into play, and it was like a 10 charge ability, and it potentially put in like a 20/20 into play or something ridiculous like that. That one was pretty exciting, and it was generating charges with Inducticopter bot. I liked that one. I thought that was cool. And I liked that the AI had like passive abilities. That was definitely another like really exciting thing for me, that each one had different abilities in their hypotheticals in this game here.
Yeah, the Life Train 8/6 jank bot changes things a little bit.
Alright, well this isn't too bad. We'll go ahead and do this. Say accept. I guess we'll do that. Oh, I just messed up so bad.
What did you?
I don't have resources to fist. Although I probably didn't mess up that bad. I mean, honestly, I don't think I can afford to fist anymore with your jank bot being in play. I'm probably just GG, honestly, and that's unfortunate, but whatever. Anyways, but going back to last week, we had fun stuff happening, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked the Eternal Drifter deck. I think was one of my favorite, or the Eternal Guardian. Somebody was saying Drifter here in chat. The Eternal Guardian one, I liked that it didn't have any resources in its deck, and it gets one every turn. Like, that was pretty cool to me. And the Corey deck, oh man, it cheats so hard.
Yeah.
It gets to play that Ingenuity engine without ever having to activate it. It's just like, it's not the construction plans. No, it's straight up the Ingenuity engine. Oh,
Hi,
what a
Ingenuity
cheaty face. Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't think it... No, it didn't. There should totally be an equipment for Ingenuity engine that lets you play that version. That would have been pretty fun. Granted, the equipment for that one were pretty good. On that note, on equipment, did you have any standout equipment, whether they worked or not, but were there any that caught your eye with like, oh, I want to play with this one?
There were several, I think, that caught my eye, just kind of like in general, they were really fun. One of the things is that I challenged myself to want to do beforehand is play like you don't have equipment, because I know the test server, when you went in and you put some of the codes, it gave you equipment on top of like anything you might have already rolled. I'm like, I feel slightly too cheaty, and I was playing a Gore Master deck. I'm already cheaty enough.
Oh, I was playing a lot of Gore Master too, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well. But okay, so you were trying to maybe...
So, yeah, I was trying to go for a slightly different experience. But,
sure.
You know,
speaking of which, there was something else I tried. I'll touch on equipment real quick, is I gotta say, okay, well, I'm about to get wrecked hard. Yep, that seems pretty good. Speaking of equipment, the Mastery of Time equipment. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but holy crap, talking about win more card, it gives Mastery of Time escalation.
Wow.
Then on the second time you play it, rather than getting 1 extra turn, you're getting 2 extra, and all that kind of nonsense. And it no longer voids the Mastery of Time, so those keep getting shuffled back in, just like other escalation cards. That was, that equipment seems pretty good when you get it. I don't know if that's going to be from a chest. I kind of hope that some of these like really bonkers good equipment are ones that like you have to do a hard mode version of the arena or something to get, which is another thing I would like to see, is a hard mode version where, those first 5 encounters were really easy, and I get that's kind of the point, right?
And they've said beforehand that those the first encounters are supposed to be your entry level encounters, so
that basically anybody
they try to geared those for slightly above starter trials.
Yeah,
it's kind of the intention I got from them on those.
And when we say slightly, we mean like really slightly above starter trials.
Yeah, I mean, because the idea is that from those you should be able to make good use of the starter trial stuff, and that makes sense to me.
Yeah, we do have some PvE cards, and a PvE card just might happen to be a card of the week today. So when we get further into the show, we'll be talking about that. But yeah,
actually, you know what? Here, I hate to say this, but I think for Proving Grounds, they need to add another challenge type, and I think they need to do the Wild West challenge, because there are times I just want to play with equipment in PvE just in Proving Grounds.
It would be a lot of fun or even just be able to test decks.
Broken crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I mean, I think that'll be a little bit ways away, but I would love to. So I mean, then yeah, we'll see. What was I gonna say? Well, this is GG. I'm just gonna. Well, we'll let you attack with your Jags. I'm not gonna ruin all your fun quite yet. We'll let that happen. You've totally got this. And but what were we even talking about? We were talking about something or other.
Well, I'm kind of hoping, because I wanted to go one more turn in case I'm able to pull off what I think could happen.
Okay.
So it really depends on what drops here. So we're going to attack with this guy and this guy just to clear your board. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good thing to flip into.
Oh wow.
Because you can exhaust my dude, and then I'm just out of luck here. Oh, at first I thought you only got 1 Falcon, then I realized there was a second row over there. So that's the thing. Yeah, those 9/1 Falcons, though,
Yeah.
Because your sword trainer only costs 3 is why. Like, that's pretty bonkers. But yeah, now you got me, because you can exhaust one of my dudes, and the damage kills me no matter what here.
Damn it! I wanted to play my Citadel of Animan.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I had one of those in this deck, too. Citadel, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. It's a good card.
Kill you hardcore.
And so we're at 83 viewers, so it looks like we beat that 75 giveaway. So we're giving away 5 things today. That was pretty quick that we managed to reach the threshold today. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and thank you for joining the giveaways. I think after this game we will do our first drawing,
yes.
And the game's over right now, so it's about that time. And we could talk about PvE stuff forever. Like. I feel like we've barely even been talking about it at all. I mean, granted, that's the only thing we've been talking about for the last 30 minutes here, and all that.
It is deeper than any of us have already given it credit for.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance there that we haven't all picked up on yet. There's a lot of things they're telling us that we don't know we know yet on top of that.
Oh.
Because I know I haven't gone in, I haven't cross-referenced all of the sayings, everything that Hogarth says to what's already known in the PvE. Then I still got to dredge up, go to the forums, get the old announcements, especially the old Frostring announcements, make sure what's going on there. And plus, then there's all the new PvE cards, all of the new flavor texts I haven't read yet, all of the new arts, all the new backgrounds. So, I mean, one of the things that hit my channel recently was kind of how do you tell story without having all the same type of game elements that like an MMO has?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that we don't necessarily have the same type of scripted events. We've got flavor text, we've got art, we've got
wouldn't be too hard,
card
though.
interactions. It's not that it's hard; it's different.
Yeah, it is different. Like, real quick on that, like you can have scripted scripted like AI encounters and stuff in your typical MMO, that doesn't really quite work the same when you're playing a TCG. Like there's so many factors to consider and stuff. So having like these passive abilities or a card that starts in play, those are kind of the same elements that you would be getting, just in a different way.
Yep. So, I mean, and every one of those, they have to have a little bit of meaning in the PvE. Every one of them has to have a little bit of meaning in a raid when they come up. All of that is going to have a meaning. And the thing is so far they do, we just don't know them all yet.
Yeah.
Real quick, if I happen to see a Frost Knight other than King Gabriel running around in the arena,
that'll get you.
I'm going to be crazy livid because I'm like, we don't even have a card of that kid yet.
Yeah. So what I was going to go into real quick before we go off of PvE, I really like all the flexibility, the different decks you can build. I did try doing something on the test server that I want to try again. Was opening 8 packs, 4 of each set, and then building a deck with it and bringing that into the Frost Arena. Kind of was doing like an arena sealed event. I was doing 8 packs rather than 6 because you have to do the 60 card deck rather than like the 40. And I really hope that eventually, I mean, I'm sure eventually that that's going to be something that they have client-side implementation for, because that sounds like a lot of fun. Adds a lot of replayability to the game, and honestly, like financially, it seems like a great move for them because it's gonna get more people opening packs, which is always good. So that's something like I definitely want to be able to do, because currently doing it, you have to write down every card. It's a little bit cumbersome, so I'm probably gonna find a better way to do it next time we try. But that's definitely something I'm excited to do. And then the other thing, which I started touching on, that I got distracted, was hard modes and equipment, right? So. I don't want to see all the equipment be available from chests. I don't want to see all the equipment be available just from ordinary drops. Like, I want some of it to be really chasey and some of it to be challenging to acquire. That would be like the main point, right? Because then
and that's a big part of MMOs too.
It's a big part of MMOs, and it's a big part of TCGs that, like, not everybody can have everything, but if you have it, you can trade it away for whatever value it has. Like. I think that's a big thing for their like free-to-play aspect, is that maybe you do get lucky. Maybe you do find one of these things and you can sell it off and, you know, get some packs for it or something like that. Because that's not totally unreasonable. I would be willing to trade away some packs for some equipment that maybe I really wanted and I couldn't get if it was something that was harder to get. And on the same note, shoot, I just had a brain fart that I was going to say. Oh, there's definitely, I feel... The reason why I feel like the sealed deck one is really exciting is that there's going to be some equipment that you're just going to hardly ever see play because everybody's playing their like top tier dungeon deck, right? And so it just doesn't use as many of the good cards. There goes the radiator. I think I'll go fix that. But by doing the sealed one, you get to play with some cards and some equipment that you might not normally be able to. And I will be right back. We'll go ahead and do the drawing, and we'll move on to the next part of the show.
Yeah, that's definitely an extremely valid point, that you're not going to see everything. But, you know, one of the things that we also have to remember is that in PvE, it's going to be for our own experience. And in your customized experience, if you always want to play with your dungeon deck, that's fine. I think a hard mode version would be also really good to do, like you do an optional hard mode sealed, and where you go with the 8 packs, 10 packs, or the 4 and 4 would be good.
Oh, did we lose your camera?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen it updated on the live site yet.
Yeah, me. Oh no, it was just
okay.
Something else. Yeah, that was. I had just paused it before. Yeah, never mind. Anyways, so I'm back. We're ready to do a drawing. Oh, I was going to say one last thing because you were talking a bit about the stream marathon last week, and I was going to say about it, Corey. Like, I just want to have him. You know, like at the zoo, they have the camera where you can just watch like. The lion just hang out and it's 24/7. Like, I want that of just Corey. Like, I want to just listen to Corey talk because I could listen to Corey talk. Like, I think he's a really interesting person to listen to and stuff. And I enjoy his sense of humor and stuff like that. So that would make me happy if there was just like a Corey's office cam.
So let's say they have a Wednesday cam of their Wednesday game nights and just share it on the stream. They invite the public in anyway. Just set it up, make sure that you've got it to where, you know, no super confidential stuff gets put on the air, so like computer screens are kind of out, and just have the board game night on stream. I'm all right with that.
I also want to see somebody who like occasionally rages and like flips the table, but they're not doing it because they know they're being watched. It's just like that's their regular behavior. I know nobody really does that. Like anybody who's doing it is just doing it for the camera, but like I would also find that entertaining. That'd be fun. But anyhow, we will go over to the giveaway here. We currently have 30 entrants to the giveaway, and we're going to go ahead and roll. This is going to be for the very first, whatchamacallit?
So this is our first, our draft code, right?
Yeah. Let me do the screen region thing again, because I think that worked well before.
Yes, because it also gives me the exact typing of who it's supposed to be.
Okay, so I think that's the information we need right there. We're going to go ahead and bring that up, so that should be working. And we're going to go ahead and roll the dice, see what we get. Good luck to everybody out there. And ask Corey to do the first ever sealed arena. I think that would be a lot of fun. Actually, that's not a bad idea. All right, so we're going to roll the dice. All right, so Wingale is the proud winner of the very first draft code that we're going to be giving away tonight. I will need your Twitch name, which I have right now because you're the winner. And Mokog's going to write that down for me. But if you send me a message on Twitch, it makes things just easier for me to send at the end. It's a little bit less time consuming for sending out all the prizes and stuff. We'll be sending that draft code out at the end of the stream, probably 10-15 minutes after we're done streaming. So congratulations, and yeah, good times. Alrighty, so I can close down the screen region right now, and we will continue on with the show. What's our next thing on the docket? Is it community stuff?
You know, we didn't really talk too much about the chat interface.
Oh, well, we didn't.
So it's one of the things because they just did an additional chat update where they give us a little bit more screenshots. Plus, we had the chat interface there up and on the server, seeing how that goes. I am curious what you think of the chat bubble style that they decided to go with.
A fine tuning that the chat interface needs. And it might even just be that the rest of the client needs the fine tuning so it feels like the chat interface fits properly. There was just something that felt a little bit out of place for me. I like the bubble stuff, and it might have just been that the server was going a little bit slow, my client was being a little bit clunky, something like that. Yeah, I mean, I really like the chat stuff. I think we actually could talk about it a little bit today, but I also want to make sure we have time for everything else that we have on our notes. I would say it's awesome that there's all like the sub menus, that there's like the area chat. So if you're doing one specific type of content, you could talk to other people who are also doing it, maybe get some advice, or just get that humble brag going of like, oh, I beat the boss, and you could hype each other up and have a little competition of who beats what first, get that thing going. That wasn't in yet, I don't think, and neither is guild chat, but you could kind of see some of the interface options that might be available for it. Like that you're going to be able to create channels. Like, it seems like it has a lot of the functionality that people are going to be looking for. That's really exciting, and it's got some cool stuff going on. It sounds like you're going to be able to have like different chat avatars or something too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so I like the concept of being able to put in different chat avatars, and I like the idea of being able to express some emotions. So essentially, because you know how like in other MMOs you can take your avatar and have them express some emotion or do a dance
or something like that.
That kind of thing. I like the idea of expressing that into chat as well. It brings it into a nice little area, gives you a little ownership over an avatar. I'm okay with that. And if they ever give us custom avatars, definitely down for that. Which that's crazy, but it's also a crazy good idea. I'm not a super big fan myself about the chat bubbles. The way they're presently implemented. I think it might be a good idea to do like how some of the chat bubbles, they have one you on one side and then they have everyone else on another side.
Sure.
So that you can pop out what you've said a little bit faster, so that you can use that as a spot point reference.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where I'm at with you too. Is it needs like pop out is the right term. Like in more than one way, being able to like pop out different menus and stuff on the screen, and so it almost feels like if you have the bubbles going, that you don't even need the rest of the interface to be around it. If you could just have like the box, like basically when you're not directly navigating through the different chat menus, it only shows the bubbles. It doesn't show the rest of the navigation part. And then when you move your mouse over to it, now it starts showing again. Like that way, it just doesn't take up as much real estate, and it still accomplishes what you're looking at. But hey, welcome to the channel, the guys who just tuned in. And I mean, I think are we ready to move on to our next thing? Yeah.
So I think it's probably good to, it's probably a quick summation is we both like all the improvements to the chat interface, but we're going to be nitpicky because, we're the we're the mother hens of a game that we love and back. So we love you guys.
So Skullgrin was asking about test server sealed. I don't know if you're talking about the sealed event that is going to take place on the test server. So there's going to be like a tournament over the weekend, hopefully. If everything goes well, they won't need to cancel or anything. What we were also talking about was sealed, like, PvE play. That was something completely unrelated that I was talking about. And that, I mean, of course, equipment would be legal for it, but that's just a hypothetical format. That's not something that even exists, so I can't really speak to any official terms of what might or might not be legal. And I would imagine equipment could be, because that's part of PvE, is having equipment. It is kind of interesting to think, though, is that whether equipment would be legal in that is like, because what if you don't have the equipment for the cards that you open? Does it give an advantage to the people that already have a bigger collection? Things like that. It's kind of interesting to think about, at least, and how you might tackle that sort of thing. But it's a fun idea.
And I think now that we have that coming, now that we're getting those first experiences of PvE, we can start we can somewhat focus our imaginations and go, okay, well, with this kind of implementation of PvE, it's kind of like this, and if it's kind of like a tournament, then we can do kind of like a sealed, and if it's kind of like a sealed, well, we you know, how would you restrict the packs? For this, you get so many questions, you get so many avenues, and just think, they've had this undergoing since October that they've been doing this. How often have they gotten sidetracked with these questions?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could implement it, and it's interesting to think about. What Mana Peace was saying in here, I'll tag on real quick, is he was saying equipment is never legal in a PvP format. That might not be. I would like to play paid events that were Wild West. I don't know how often I would play them. I don't know how much other interest there would be in them, but I would like them to exist. And if they did exist, I would expect equipment to be legal in them. So, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out completely, but we'll see.
I would love a Wild West format that was low costed. So the idea is that you don't want to be super serious on your pricing for it, so you don't want a high cost of entry, but something kind of like the equivalent of maybe one of the mock sealeds with equipment, or a Wild West constructed for like $1 entry to cover craziness that they do.
Yeah,
and then have like the equipment, and like maybe do chest payout would be more interesting.
I would expect any Wild West format to actually have a high barrier to entry. It really depends. There's a lot of different ways you could do it, because the idea is like it's a super broken format, right? So in some ways there might be broken interactions that are cheap to build. There's actually a lot going on in there, and I think it's pretty interesting, and like it could be fun, but without like having other stuff implemented, that's kind of far out there. There's a lot of details that are just up in the air, and it's even hard to guess on.
I would say future bridges the cross down the line.
Yeah, definitely. Going on to community events, I'll run through those real quick. We've got a couple tournaments coming up. We also have a couple that just took place, and some kind of overall just fun stuff going on. On the fun stuff note, the Hex Rock League is well on its way towards happening. It is currently active. If you're not already playing it, you can go look on the forums. There's a post there. I should have had the link ready for it, and I did not. That was one link that I did not have ready. But Crohn's Rock League is going pretty steadily. I wish I was playing in it right now. I kind of just had a lot of stuff going on, so wasn't quite able to this time around. But it is exciting that the Rock League now, with Set 2 stuff going in there, changes things up dramatically. And I'm interested to see what people are playing, and that's the main reason I wish I was playing, because then I would be able to see how Set 2 affected things. Unfortunately, that's just something that I haven't had time for, so I didn't want to like start it and then stop it like I usually do.
Did you know they got like a snazzy video intro for season 3? I'm just saying.
That video is awesome. If you have not seen the Rock League video, that I can't remember right now off the top of my head who the person who made it is, and I feel bad because whoever it was really awesome, did an amazing job on it. But yeah, that Rock League video is really sweet. I love it. That's pretty awesome.
So the Rock League is hosted by HexGo. Not enough people who play in the Rock League have watched the video properly, so go watch the video. It is awesome. It's got really 35 views on YouTube. I know more than 35 people play in the Rock League. Go watch the video. Check it out.
I feel like there's something wrong with the view count if it's only gotten 35, because it's a sweet video. Like, people need to watch it. It's like, holy crap, they did a good job on this, and it does get you pretty excited to play in it. Like, I want to see more stuff like that, because if we started seeing more stuff like that, I'd bet you would see a lot more entry into community events and just like overall community participation and everything. But yeah, so that's our little blurb about the Rock League going on. As far as main tournaments coming up, we have the Ruby Cup, which is going to be the end of the month. I think that's going to be February 28th. Or no, sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. Let me restart that. Ruby Cup is this weekend. This is the 5 shards tournament, and it no entry fee, so anybody can play in it. It's going to be constructed, just regular rules, both sets included, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff going on. I will probably not be playing in it. I might enter round 1 and 2 and then drop. That's going to be the day of my birthday, so I will probably not be playing it though. And I kind of feel bad doing that, like just going in, trying to dream crush and then leaving. But there are a lot of prizes. As Zubrin's saying, it's $1,000 in prizes. Holy crap, that's insane.
Yeah.
If that, I didn't even realize it was that much.
Just to make sure, for a what cost to enter tournament?
It's a free tournament, yeah.
So you're saying that if I build a constructed deck with my set 1 and set 2 cards, I can enter this free community-run tournament and possibly win part of that $1,000 in prizes.
Yes.
I'm just making sure that we understand what's going on here, because that's amazing. And then that's how I got a job running TV ads.
Yeah, and I mean a big part here is that this is run by the community. Like, we have put this together. I mean, not we, you and myself, but the community as a whole is making these things happen. You know, Zubrin and Penta and the 5 shards crew, G Prime and Technofy, all these guys are like working hard. And who else am I leaving out? Jews and Jedi, and I'm probably leaving out a whole bunch of people that are working very hard at putting this together. That's really cool. It's awesome. There's door prizes, so even if you're not winning, you can win stuff. These guys put a lot of work and effort into making this happen. A lot of stuff behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. Hats off to them, and it's going to be awesome. So that's going to probably, I'm thinking it's still happening this weekend, this Saturday, and it's, I think that's pretty exciting. And you guys should tune in. They're going to have a stream where they're webcasting the whole thing. I think it's going to be JJ and Penta streaming again alongside other guests,
nice.
Perhaps. Pretty exciting. It's also being sponsored by Blood. Can you remember the name of the book? It's some Blood Prince, Rise of the Blood Prince.
It would be better if we remembered who it was, so that we could do all the proper sponsors and plugs. But it's being sponsored, so go search for the Ruby Cup on the forums, and it will give you all the dibbly-doo on there.
So there's prizes across the board. Rise of the Dead Prince, that's the name of the book.
There we go.
And it's really awesome the way that the person sponsoring this is sponsoring it for a friend who authored the book and is just trying to support his friend and support the community. And there goes Zubrin with the link that you can learn about the Ruby Cup. Thanks, Zubrin, for doing that. So there's that's the main. Brian A. Hurd is the author. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Motivation, for also helping us keep that all in and getting good stuff going. Anyways, so that's the Ruby Cup this weekend. In other community news, the HexTech tournament is going to be at the end of the month. This one is the paid event, that $5 entry fee, and they're paying back out in platinum, so that way the entry fee can go towards the pockets quite so much of those that are hosting it. And finale, this one is also going to have the same, where if you get your points for doing well in the initial tournaments, it'll qualify you for a final one, and the payouts for that are even better. But that's going to be the Hex constructed, and it's going to be on February 28th, if I'm not mistaken. So those are to toot my horn a little bit, but yeah. So I did pretty.
What you win, Function?
You're obnoxious. All right, so what was it? A week and a half ago was the Hex Primal. You're able to build a deck that has to be under $10, and they kind of set the prices at one specific date. They kind of do a snapshot, and then you other cards that are like $6, and they're still kind of banned. The one of they're not going to be pulling a whole lot of weight for you. So say like Ragefire costs $6, it doesn't, but if it did, you wouldn't really be able to play it all that much if you want a copy of. Anyway, so you have
It's
$10 to
amazing
build
you
this deck list.
tutor it out every single time.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Tournament. I went in with a deck that I felt was going to be extremely strong in the format. It turns out I was right. I went in with Goremaster, and because Goremaster itself was really cheap and it was already pretty good in Gas Troll Goremaster deck, and it was pretty strong. Just because of those free wins out of nowhere, some of those games were incredibly close. I really need to post them to YouTube. I think it was my round 4 opponent. We went to the finals, and we were both in top deck mode, and oh man, that was like one of the better games I've played in a long time. It was a lot of fun. The Extinction, Dark Moon is saying in here, yeah, that Extinction, my opponent was playing 2 copies of Extinction, which was just barely able to squeeze in with the price that it was at and everything. And totally caught me off guard, but we still managed to do pretty well. I took first, and that was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I participated in it this time around. And I was pretty happy with myself to have done so. But yeah, that's my 2 cents about that.
So taking a look at chat, we have a lot of good talk. So Zubrin put a lot of good information about what some of the prices are. We've got the good links and stuff in there. Zazin really loved my horn. But other than that, you got a couple good jobs, which in all honesty, I mean, to a budget-based form of deck restriction, I think really changes that meta up just enough, because of how a lot of the really good cards, really good constructed format cards just suddenly go poof.
All right,
and
so
I really liked how that could play out. And plus, in all honesty, I basically took a form of your deck and started crushing Arena with it, so I'm all right with that.
Okay, that was one thing we were talking about Arena, and we didn't really touch on. I'm going to bring up the deck list real quick, just so people can see it. Assuming I still have, I didn't alter it or anything. Let me make sure I didn't. Primal Budget. I think this is the one right here. So this is the deck I was playing. It was pretty simple. It was just Goremaster and Big Gas Troll. I think Big Gas Troll is my favorite like hex term now. I'm really happy with myself for saying that. I mean, I like to think that I'm clever, but I know it's not that clever. It's just kind of dumb. Courtney sneers at me when I say it, but it's still fun. So on a quick note, it looks like we have some more giveaways to do, and all I would say is, Nero, is Monsoon either your favorite card or is it your least favorite card, and that's why you want to keep ditching them? It looks like this deck is missing 2 cards. I'm not sure what they are. It's probably something that I sold and then had extra copies of or something like that, and I took them out. It looks like Stink Troll is missing the 3rd and 4th copies, so I was running Stink Troll on there, which is also really good. On the test server last week, Gas Troll was insanely broken. Every single shard you played buffed it, +1/+1. It wasn't just Ruby shards like it was in the alpha server way back when. Even wild shards were buffing Gas Troll, and this was just on the test server, not for the tournament. It also turns out that dual shards, like this Shard of Savagery, was buffing it twice, giving it +2/+2. Insane. Yeah, so that Big Gas Troll is even bigger. So Nero just likes giving Monsoon to people, and it's kind of a card that keeps giving back, right? Your troops are dead, and then they get to come back and do big things. Was it not just shards? It was every card you played? No, I don't think Ruby cards were buffing it. I could have missed it, but yeah. Big Gas Troll, pretty real. And on the test server, like what Mokog and I were talking about is, it seems like it really, especially with the AI the way it currently is, and with some of the earlier decks, we don't know so much about the later decks, but I would imagine once the AI gets buffed, this won't quite be so true, is that it feels like the Arena currently favors decks that don't have a whole lot of interaction, or that when they're not interacted with, they can kind of run away with the game. And Goremaster, it's not too hard for it to do like 84 damage in one turn with a boulder toss.
Yeah.
And when you're just kind of like allowed to have free reign and just kind of hold back cards and then have that one big turn, it seems pretty good in Arena. And I would imagine if you're just trying to grind stuff out, it's probably one of the better decks to choose. Fortunately, it's a pretty cheap deck to build as well.
Yep.
So you're going to be able to finish games quickly, whereas some control decks where they might have a even higher win percent, the games might go longer. And if you're just trying to get it done quickly and get that equipment that you want, you're in good shape.
Well, and I'll be honest. So one of the things that I watched the streams for and I was playing the games for was because one of the big concerns is you want to find out what is the minimum amount of time it takes to get the most efficient payout in Arena, because you want to essentially find a way to get the most gold to roll all of your chests. And I don't know if how many of our more experienced players or players who have really been following the drafting techniques have looked at their unrolled chests recently. But when I started adding up the numbers, I need to grind out like 2 million of gold. To roll all of my chests.
On
and
the
go ahead.
The first thing I did when I hopped on the test server was I was like, I'll just roll the rest of these chests that I haven't rolled yet. And these primal chests, or what are they, legendary chests that I need to roll on still? I'll roll them right now, see how we do with the streamer buff, maybe.
Streamer buff!
Maybe we get something here. Probably not. Looks good. Nope. So we get to re-roll it. Great. I get another paid spin of 30,000 gold, and I get 5,000 or 500. Not quite what we wanted there, Kismet, but we'll roll over the end just because my gold did not last me very long. I was out very, very quickly.
It goes away very quickly.
So we get another paid spin, and that's why it goes away so quick, because I've almost, like, if I want to keep rolling this chest, I've just spent 60,000 gold and not gotten anything. That's actually, like, isn't that 2 packs worth of gold, basically?
60k? Yeah.
Yeah,
Depends
so I mean,
on what set, but yeah.
That is kind of crazy when you think about it, like, you're spending a pack to roll those chests, like.
Yeah, and the thought about it is, so if you when they perfect arena on Corey's stream, you know, they cheated through arena so that we could kind of see what like some of the end content was. What he got was about 16k gold, and we do know that that's going to somehow fluctuate depending on what buffs and bonuses, and if you perfect it all the way through, all that kind of stuff. But if you take that just as a 1 point average and pretend for a few moments, that means you have to clear the arena twice to roll 1 legendary chest. Clearing the arena once means that you can roll probably on average 1.5 to maybe 2 rare chests, and then you get your commons and uncommons. But anyone who's been doing the drafts pretty often probably has their uncommon and their common chests pretty well rolled, or they've been saving gold. It's those legendary upgrades that you really want once you start rolling those legendary chests, because that primal chest, 1, gives you another free roll, and 2 has the best loot. We already know the primal chest is going to have the primo loot, and there are even talks of some people who want to save their primal chests for when events are going on to have the better chance for when Gen Con and HexCon events could be going on. Now that's a future thing, but we have a lot of future thinking individuals.
We're saying your cam just died. Let me bring you back in.
No!
I'm going to dismiss you and call you back. As I almost call half the people I know on Skype. Oops. Alright, here we go. Calling Mokog. Sorry to anybody in that channel that I also called that's in here. Did not mean to do that. Alright, there we go. Yeah, call all the 5 shards. We'll get 27 people on the stream, or whatever ridiculousness is going on there. That was kind of funny.
We just called every single one. We didn't just want a interview, we wanted a conference call.
Yeah, so that would have been ridiculous. But going back to stuff, I would assume, like, it's going to generate a lot of gold. When there's just a ton of players playing Arena just for fun, and it's generating gold without the entry fees like tournaments are having, the amount of gold that's going to start coming in is going to be huge. And I think, I don't know if the plan is still to remove gold from paid events or the main PvP stuff. I would assume it is, but for some reason I thought I saw something there that it might not be. So they might have changed their mind on this. I don't really know.
I would say, from what I've read, it's still a little wishy-washy. There's, it's kind of like one of those of two minds of, we probably really ought to, and it's part of our plan to remove the gold from the PvP side, but we're not going to shoehorn ourselves into something that may not be best for the gold economy.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with that stance, because in all honesty, you need to have that flexibility in managing your gold economy, because they got their plat economy down well enough at this point. We can complain and moan maybe about how certain cards are hitting the price floor and how certain ones can't sell for below the floor because they're too common, but that's what gold is for. Which, if you ever watch that's a fun thing to watch. Go see all the cards that sell for gold, that don't sell for platinum on you can call them the bargain bin rares, because that's where your rares start entering your free-to-play economy, is for when you have too many heroes of adamant. Well, go pick one up for 5k, because you can now go into the arena once it gets released and you can take your arena win and then go buy your bargain basement rares from your PvP and not have to pay a dime. It's going to work, people. I promise. It will be there.
Real quick here, Mokog. This is kind of funny. I fired up a game just against the AI real quick, so there's something going on in the background with this Jankbot deck. So my opening hand with this 150 card deck was, of course, the Angel of Dawn starts in my deck, or in my hand. That was kind of funny. But then we also had an Argus, which started in my hand, kind of funny. And I got a Jankbot. Like, it's just funny that singletons, I mean, I have 4 copies of Jankbot, but that's only one we have more than 4 of. Like, the odds of these cards being in the hand was kind of low, but I find it amusing, is all I was going to say.
And that is a flavor hand right there.
Yeah.
That is a very flavor hand. And if you happen to pull the other 2 resources, you're not going to care what your hand looks like.
Yeah, no, not really. What were we talking about, though? We were going to talk about the gold. Initially they were saying it's not going to be there. It sounds like they might have, changed their mind, because they can tell that people playing PvP events appreciate that the gold isn't there. I think it's important that the amount of gold across all ways of it being awarded, like the amount of gold flowing in, you don't want too much inflation. Some is probably good, but like dramatically huge, probably not the best thing. But eventually, if there is a lot of gold coming in, that they can come up with some really interesting gold sinks where it potentially uses a lot of gold, but you're getting something cool out of it.
Well, I got to be honest, they have a very strong gold sink in the chest rolling.
Yeah, no, they do.
Because I would say the big hammer on gold isn't going to be taking it away from tournaments. It's adjusting how often Kismet forces you to reroll.
Yeah,
that right there is a huge sink to the gold.
Yeah, it is, and it's something where it's very subtle. On another note, crafting, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but maybe combining a recipe also uses some gold. And then for really, really good recipes, you need to use a big chunk of gold. Well, that'd be a good way of taking some gold out of the economy.
Well, and it all depends on how everything goes. I mean, because there's going to be a problem with the gold faucets when everyone has 1 million gold and they've already rolled all their chests.
Yeah, and 1 million is going to be a pretty small amount, I would actually think.
Well, ideally, you want 1 million to be, I would say, an active player's end state
or something. Yeah,
I would say you'd want that to be at their end state, because you want them to be rolling on chests and using gold enough that they shouldn't get to that high a figure.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
you'd want the user average to probably be about within the below 100K, I would say. Because the idea is that every time you get to 100K, you want to roll.
That's if they're
on
using their chests. So their net, what they currently have between like unspent chests and all that is really what you're looking at for the number. But Zubrin saying 227 unrolled legendary chests. Kind of insane.
Oh God,
that's just ridiculous.
That is so much gold.
How much? Here, let me grab a calculator real quick. What are we talking about? We're doing 227 times what? 30,000.
Okay, yeah.
So Zubrin, all you need right now is almost 7 million gold. No big deal. That's just rolling around. You just have to find it and that's just to roll each chest once.
Yeah,
it'll probably take a lot closer to like, I don't know, 16 million gold to actually finish them up, because you're gonna probably get trolled like I just did and get to re-roll. Oh, grats, you got to re-roll your chest again, right? Something like that. Which isn't bad. I mean, if the goal is to upgrade him, you're going to be glad that you were given the chance. But that's no joke.
The thought about that is that you want and that's the balance that they have to strike, is really not necessarily the monetary amount that's in gold. It's the effort to reward ratio that you get there. The effort in grinding out that gold to the reward you're going to get from each roll that you do on a legendary chest. So I'm just saying it's one of those things that they're focused on balancing. That's one of the things that they have their devs looking at. It's going to happen on their internal conversations, and it's definitely one of those where you're going to get some really complex and interesting interactions through them.
Yeah. But I think we are ready to do some more giveaways. We've been going on here for a little while.
Yeah, so we have not even given away the set 1 packs. Let's give those suckers away.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out. That's one with the AI.
And did I just lose? Did I get kicked off again?
Yes, you did. I don't know why. Weird stuff going on. All right, so I'll try to not accidentally.
Don't kick me, brah. Don't kick me.
I'll try to not accidentally call 27
everyone.
people once or whatever it was. All right, so we're gonna end that call. We're back. Clicked on the right person here, and we're calling Mokog back. I think I gave a couple people heart attacks there almost with who we all called, but Mokog's back on the stream. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't know why we're
5 shards. Hey, actually, Cryptozoic just recently started up a new Kickstarter, didn't they?
They did. They're doing a Ghostbusters Kickstarter, and I am a massive fan of Ghostbusters. There was like a Ghostbusters, what was it, 30th anniversary over the summer. There was like a big art show here in Chicago with like a whole bunch of really amazing art. And if I had all kinds of disposable income, I probably would have dropped a couple grand on it. But I don't have that kind of money to throw around right now. But we did buy a couple smaller pieces that were kind of fun. We posted them up on the wall and stuff because we have like a lot of cartoon art on our walls and stuff, and that's kind of fun. Okay,
sorry,
I almost thought
I got lost in the theme song because it's just such a catchy theme song.
So we're going back to the giveaways. That's what we're about to do, and thanks to Nero, we have a whole bunch of monsoons that we have to figure out what we're going to do with those. Perhaps the winners of the monsoons will be playing them in this week's Ruby Cup. It's a strong card. It's got definitely some constructed viability, whether you're doing mono diamond diamond, mono blood, or some kind of like blood diamond deck, or just something else that's quite powerful. Monsoon's a good card. It can get a lot of value out of it, and yeah, we're in good shape.
I have to say, I have to do it one more time because I just looked it up. So we just mentioned the Ghostbusters Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's into it 2 days. They've already funded it, and it's already a Kickstarter staff pick.
Yeah.
Done.
I mean, they're doing quite well.
That was already crazy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just needed one more side because I wanted to take a quick look at it.
Like, we're talking about rolling those chests right now, the legendary chests, and like,
It's a minis game?
Every time you click it, you're basically spending 50 cents, is what Grimshaw was saying here with the conversion and everything. Like, that's kind of hard to comprehend when you take a step back and think about it. Like, it's kind of funny, but that's what it is. But it's really the gold that you're getting as this like benefit from other stuff and has some sort of value and everything. It's just kind of funny to think about, but we're not going to talk about that too long because I know we would get distracted. And it's giveaway time, so we're going to give away what, the 3 packs right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's give away 3 packs.
Let me make sure I have the right window up here. We'll move this out of the way and that out of the way, and it's giveaway time again. We're going to bring up the drawing. Where's the screen region? That's the region right there. And we're going to go ahead and roll again. So Wingale was the first winner. That was the draft code earlier. Yep. It's time to have a new one. What are we gonna?
3 packs is given to who?
So this is a winner of 3 packs. Whoever wins here, we got Zeegle Darkmoon, who's been in the channel pretty much from the very get-go. Congrats on winning 3 set 1 packs. I will have those sent to you in game. What you're gonna need to do is send me a Twitch message with what your in-game name is. Send it to me on Twitch, because if you send it to me in-game, I don't really know it was you. I like to be confident in that. So send me your in-game name through Twitch, and then I'll send you the packs in-game. And you can type it in chat, but honestly, it's probably going to get lost. The best way is just to message me function, and you'll be in good shape there. So congrats on the packs. That's 3 set 1 packs. We have the monsoons. Nero, if he's still listening here,
Wait, how many monsoons do we have?
We have 4. He was just like, boom, there's 4 monsoons. You can give them away again. This Nero, always so generous with those monsoons. Like,
Nero has given away across the streamers more monsoons than I have seen in competitive play.
Yeah,
and in my own collections.
All those monsoons, though. This guy.
Where are you getting these,
guy.
Nero? Oh my God. Are you buying the monsoons on the auction house?
He's just really lucky. Like he's like, something on his client is broken. He opens packs and it's just every single time it's monsoons, and he's like, these stupid monsoons. He's ready to flip his table every time he opens one, but that's the only thing he opens. That's my story.
It's not Neurogenous. It's Neurogenerous.
Yeah,
it's Neurogenerous. So all right, he literally sent 4 monsoons.
Mm-hmm.
Then. Should we give away all 4 today?
Oh no, we're gonna give away all 4 today. We just gotta decide. Maybe we'll do 3 drawings with 1 drawing for 2 monsoons, and then 2 drawings from 1 each.
All right, so we want to do 3 drawings for that. So 1 gets half a playset, and then 1's going to get 1 of each.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So
the Monsoon 13 copy Primal pack. I mean, I think you can only get 2 legendaries per Primal, but that would be pretty real. And it is kind of funny. Nero even did his table flipping one, which I like. Yeah, it's really funny to think of. And Kev just, or however, well, we'll say Kevin because it almost looks like. And it's the start of Kevin was saying Monsoon is to Nero as Stone Tusk is to me. Sad
All right.
face.
Well, you know what? While we're doing it, let's go ahead and roll our Crack-a-Pack.
Okay.
Crack-a-Pack as well.
Yeah, because we're getting to that time. So this is gonna be the Crack-a-Pack roll right here. We're gonna go ahead and crack a pack right after this roll, and the winner is going to get whatever rare we open. Who knows? Maybe it'll be another Monsoon. We'll end up getting 5 away today. All right. So this is for Irish Batusi.
Irish Battleside.
Yeah, there you go. This is the winner of the Crack Pack. We're gonna go ahead and hide the screen region once Mokog's gotten it written down. Let me know when you're good, Mokog.
Well, it takes a moment for everyone to catch up, and I like how everyone's just like test server.
Yeah, because now that if you've already entered, you don't need to redo it. I just keep all the entrants. Although you might be people who are just waiting for the other entries to go away, and now you're going for the big stuff now that you know Nero was in here. Whatever it is. But if you've entered once, you don't need to again, so you're in good shape in that case.
All right, so
but Irish
Balthasar, I have it written down, so Irish Balthasar is going to get the Crack-a-Pack.
But I will need to know his in-game name, so hopefully that person sends me a message on Twitch to Function, and we'll be in good shape.
Irish, you're good about this. Send the message.
All right, we're going to go ahead and hide that.
Our other stuff that we have left, we still have the double jank bots to give away.
Yep.
And then we have another draft code to give away. And we've got 4 Monsoons we're giving away to 3 different people.
Yep.
So 2 of them are going to get 1 of each, and the super lucky grand prize winner is going to get 2 Monsoons, and then go wreck face on the Ruby Cup with 2 Monsoons that they got from the General's tent in Nero Generous.
Okay, I'll put it this way, because Irish is supposed to be here in chat. All right, that makes it easy for me to send you whatever we open. If I don't send it to you, though, by the end of the stream, send me an in-game message, because I just lost it and got distracted with something else, which, while streaming, you know, it happens. All right, so we're going to be cracking the set 2-pack here. Let's see what we open, and we'll talk about our little flavor pick. We need to do a flavor draft again. That, if I was doing a birthday stream, which isn't completely out of the question, I won't do it on my birthday. It would probably be on Sunday if we were going to. I would have to get my good buddy Mokog to come and do a flavor draft with me. How much fun would that be? That'd be pretty
Hey,
cool.
flavor drafts are awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I would love to do that again. We definitely need to find time to do that again. All right, so our set 2-pack, we're going to see what we get here.
Yeah,
good luck to Irish. Generous tent. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's pretty good too. Yeah. All right.
Anytime Nero's in here, it kind of ends up that way.
Okay, so quick little piece of information here was a double back that says donated by Nero. I like that. That would be pretty good.
That would be really cool.
I have still never opened a pack like this where you open it manually. In drafts it's different. I'm not counting drafts and stuff. I'm just talking where you just crack the pack, not for a draft or anything else. I've still never cracked a pack and opened a legendary. That had been true up until last week, and then on last week I opened two packs or something and got 2 legendaries on the test server. So it wasn't even on my account.
I gotta be honest, so when the test server came up, I noticed that they gave us an absolute ton of platinum.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I looked at this platinum and I'm like,
it's pretty good.
This platinum's in the thousands. How many packs can I buy with this? Hundreds of packs. This is awesome. Open 10 at a time, open 10 at a time, open 10 at a time, open 10 at a time.
That was fun. I was doing that too. But yeah, so I still haven't actually opened a legendary with just opening a pack on the live server. So troll, as Nero was saying. So our rare for today, which is going to be going to Irish, pretty good one I would say, is a Scheme. It's definitely a fun card. Hasn't seen a whole lot of play, surprisingly, but it definitely has a lot of potential, and especially as like Wild West eventually becomes something and the card pool grows larger and larger, I would expect this card to be one which gets better and better in those types of formats where the card pool is just huge, because then you're taking advantage of having like a bunch of 1-ofs in your deck, or just having up to 8 copies basically of more cards and all kinds of nonsense like that. Scheme becomes pretty cool.
And I still think Scheme has a place in the decks that really attempt to take advantage of the escalation cards.
Yeah.
I think this card, once we finally crack the way we want it to be, will make escalation come back.
Yeah, I agree. And in Scheme, it definitely has some potential. Quick question for you here, Mokog. And this is something I've been wondering about, and I'm sure you are the man to answer the question. This person, or this thing that is on the scheme card holding the blue orb. What are they? Are they a necrotic? Is that what they are? Or are they just a human with glowing eyes? They something completely different? Like, what do you think this person is?
Let's see. So we don't have any flavor text on the card. I'm going to go with closer to the necrotic, and here's one of the reasons why I look at it that way.
Yeah.
So if you look at the mouth, you got more pointed teeth, so it looks like they've been filed. The eyes don't have any pupils or irises whatsoever. They're just flat out like they've illuminated.
So maybe they are gems.
And then the background, I think, is the biggest giveaway. So when you look at the background, it's the shelves being lined, and they've got stuff kind of dripping down, kind of this.
No, it's candles.
Well, yeah.
It's candle wax.
Well, that's an awful lot of candle wax. That doesn't. Normally, you don't.
He's just like a hippie. He's got all of his like scented candles that he's lighting.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I'm still going necrotic on that one.
Yeah. No, I think you're probably right.
It's much more of a necrotic themed card as well, because the humans are not really shown to be a scheming type of race at this point.
Well, hear me out here. I think there's two options, right? Is he necrotic, or is he just crazy homeless guy?
The robe's too fine to be crazy homeless guy.
I mean, he could have fallen from quite a high stature in society.
Yeah, but his belt is like an actual belt.
And I guess
like
maybe it's
cord.
close.
If he was crazy homeless guy, he's got to have a cord for a belt.
It does look like he's missing a couple teeth, though. But that still leaves him. He could be necrotic.
Yep.
Could be crazy homeless guy.
I go with necrotic.
Yeah.
We'll let the chat decide. Is he necrotic or is he human?
Well, I think he's probably necrotic. But I'd like to think that it's just a possibility that he's a crazy homeless guy. Yeah, just saying. Yeah. All right. Anyways, that's enough about scheme. So this is our pack. We'll talk real quick about what our first pick in here would be if we were drafting it, and then we'll talk about flavor draft. From drafting it, not too excited personally about scheme, and it's just because a lot of the time I don't end up with a whole lot of actions. I might grab it just for rare drafting purposes. It's worth like $1 or $2, and no shame in that. I've been rare drafting from time to time lately, and actually managed to rare draft and take first place the other night, which was pretty good. One of the cards I even drafted in the rare draft was the scheme. Going back though, not too excited about all the uncommons. Callous Awakener can be pretty good, but I wouldn't take it early. It's a great sideboard card. It can definitely be quite the strong play in some decks if it fits well in your deck. But I think I know what my pick is here, and I want to hear what Mokog says first.
Alright, so I definitely agree that the uncommons are not super striking, and not first pickable material. It's something that those types of uncommons, I normally would see them going 6th or 7th pick, honestly.
I will say real quick on the uncommons, I want Briar Patch to be a first pickable card, kind of in the same way like Volcanon was, right? And I've grabbed Briar Patch. I've even had decks where I had like 3 Briar Patches, and it was never good for me. Like, I've never gotten to work. I'm sure it can be a really great card, just never for me, apparently.
You know what the thing that I found with it is that you need the normal Briar Patches. You need the Briar Patch troop.
Yeah.
To really make it work. So
sure.
not the Conjurer, the actual Briar Patch.
Or the Briar Legions themselves. Okay.
So the Briar Legions to come in to really start triggering that Briar Patch the way you want it to.
Yeah. It wasn't quite there for me.
I'm not super impressed with the commons either. I mean, there are some things that I think could work pretty well. I mean, I would probably end up just rare drafting this scheme. This is
a weak pack. Yeah, don't get me wrong. And kind of rare drafting seems like a good choice. I'm pretty solidly just on one card myself.
See, I flip between like 4 of them at this point. I flip between
make up your mind,
the
Mokog.
Herald. I flip between the Crank Rocket, and I flip between the Dwarf and the Battle Hardened Paw. But in all honesty, I'd probably just go humans. I like the easy fixing of having a troop on field.
Yeah.
So I would probably end up taking the Herald.
Yeah, I mean the Herald's good. If you're playing humans, you definitely want to have. If you get a couple of them, you're going to be in really good shape, and that's kind of one of the weak points of the human decks is making sure they have their threshold. This is one of the ideal cards to do it because not only does it put a human on the board for perhaps Giles or the Banner, a number of cards. It also helps you with the fixing, so it tackles multiple problems with just one card. Quite good. My choice, though, I think, and it's just because this is such an unexciting pack, is the crank rocket, and it's just that I really like being able to leverage the crank rocket, being able to take it early, and there's a lot of ways to make it work for you, whether you're playing Bertram or Recovery Specialist or whatever else. Like, it's pretty good to get it on, pretty easy to get it online. If you can double dip with it with the Recovery Specialist, you're in really good shape, and it kills just about anything. So I really like the crank rocket. Some other people in here are saying Launchpad Specialist, which actually I like a lot too, but it usually wheels. It's usually only want like 1, maybe 2 in your deck, depending on how you're going. But you can usually pick them up pretty late because not a whole lot of people go after them, and they are common. So
I would say, I mean, because we don't have a standout bomb, we don't have a real standout evasion card. They're all probably about equal footing. I mean, because at least the crank rocket's removal, but it's removal that you have to build up to.
Yeah,
which makes it. I would say puts it on the same level as a good solid troop with an effect.
But at least you can take the crank rocket and then Recovery Specialist, which is also another common. You can value that much higher now that you first picked the crank rocket. I feel like that's the one reason I'm happy with
definitely having that in there. But you also really, really love your Recovery Specialist.
No, I do. It's one of my favorite commons with set 2 draft. I really like it. I think, though, if I was just drafting, I would go with what a lot of people are saying and just say, you know what, this draft, not the most exciting first pack. I'll just grab the scheme, and maybe I might even be able to get my money back that way.
There's nothing to fear in the pack.
So, but the important part.
It's a perfect pack to rare draft. There's
the important
nothing to fear in the pack.
What's the flavor draft pick?
Ooh, flavor pick. What am I feeling today? All these start an interesting story. We could try to go for the Lotor style and go with the Ancient Kings and have the start of your adventure. You are summoned before the Ghost Kings who tell you what to do.
Yeah, you could really favor ghost-based cards, so you'd have to first pick Forgotten Lord if you open it in pack 3 or something like that. So the Ghost deck is definitely one. I like that one. I feel like there's a flavor deck around Compost, and we're just talking about the plant deck, the plant deck, exactly, right? I mean, there is a Briar Patch in here. Speaking of Briar Patch, let me bring it up. That's the funniest art of just the thing that she's casting the thing on. I would guess it's a Briar Legion guy, but holy crap, he looks so goofy. I am constantly amused by that one. But yeah, I feel like they're flavor draft.
That's one of the PvE cards that she's summoning up. That's one of the wild PvE cards.
Okay, we'll have to remember.
I have to go find its name here.
So we're done with the Crack-a-Pack. That's that for today. We'll roll the chest real quick, see what we get. We forgot to do card of the week, and we'll do that right now as we wrap up the rest of our giveaway. So we got an upgrade to an uncommon. That's not so bad. Where was our upgrade to a primal earlier? That's what we need to roll when we're rolling those 50-cent chests. All right, but yeah, we'll hide this screen real quick. And maybe hold another giveaway, and then do other stuff. What are we doing?
Is that the...
And Batsui was saying that card finishes the playset for your scheme. Well, that's pretty awesome. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hide Hex, and we're gonna introduce our card of the week. And before we start getting into it, as people are reading it real quick here on the stream, we will hold our other 1 or 2 of our other giveaways. So we've done how many so far? 3. We still have our jank bots, which why don't I just roll them right now? We'll move this over to the side a little bit and bring up the screen region again. So this is for Irish. We're gonna go ahead and roll this. This is for the jank bots here to the next person. So good luck to whoever's out there. You're gonna be winning 2 jank bots, 1 from me, 1 from Mokog. Mokog will just send it over to me, and I'll distribute them after the stream. We will need to know your in-game name though. And this one is Mr. Grimshaw, another person who's been hanging out the entire stream. Seems like Prism seems to favor you guys. There's 46 people currently entered in the giveaway, so that's kind of exciting. But yeah, Grimshaw wins the 2 jank bots, which is kind of exciting. We're playing our jank bot decks against each other today. Let me know when you have that written down there, Mokog, and we will...
Yep, I got Grimshaw written down.
Okay. What was I going to say? We'll go ahead and roll the next one. This is for the second draft code. We will roll that right now. So this is for draft code number 2. Going out to somebody, enter this in, will get you a draft in game. So Nexus Tavern, I will be sending you a draft code after the stream. That's a cool little icon you got going there. And congrats on the draft. For anybody, while we're getting stuff set up, talking about our card of the week, for anybody who's new to the stream, anybody who's new to the game, be sure to follow this channel if you are excited about HexTCG news and commentary from myself and Mokog, or a number of other streamers out there. And Nexus Tavern saying, "Oh my God, guys, thanks! Yeah, congrats on the draft code." So
that is a really nifty icon.
Yeah,
but yeah, congrats.
But yeah, be sure to follow the stream. Not only do myself and Mokog stream throughout the week, or on here every Wednesday, but so do other streamers throughout the week on this channel, as well as their own. And you know, if you're new to the game, Hex is currently in a somewhat open beta phase, and anybody is welcome to join. You can just go over to the HexTCG.com page and sign up for it and download the client. Unfortunately, the arena test server, which is going to be open this weekend, I think if you are not already basically unlocked for that, you will not be this weekend. I think it was they for this phase, the cutoff date was February 1st, I believe. But I'm sure they'll be opening it up again at some point for more signups as more people create new accounts, all that other kind of fun stuff. And what was I going to say? Oh, one thing I never even mentioned today before we move on to the card, and I wanted to mention it very quickly, was...
Yep.
Where is it here? I'll post the link here in chat. Is the Hex team has updated their careers page with a whole bunch of new listings, and some pretty exciting ones in there. So this is to be part of the Hex team, I would imagine. And if you are currently in search of a job or want to be part of their team, maybe you have the right skill set for any number of these, I would take a look at it. Some of them are pretty cool. You know, when you're looking for a software development gig or a gig in the gaming industry, it's not easy. They can be pretty picky. There's a lot of people signing up for these, and you have to have, you know, a good skill set. You have to be bringing something to the table. Otherwise, you might want to work on developing.
I gotta be honest,
skills.
I like their job descriptions that they started off with.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Senior game designer. Be the commander of your own ship in your mind. Love the designing various aspects of trading card games, and you're real good with a bow too.
Yeah.
Senior game designer.
But yeah, some good ones in there.
They had another really good one. What was it? Had to do with, I think it was their...
yeah, Nero, you do need to... That would be great. You can get Nero on the voice actor position. I would love to hear that. That would be pretty awesome. Just reading all the text from, like, whatever Hogarth says. Oh, I like it.
All right, so they have another really good one I'd like to highlight. It's their software engineer. Do you love 127.0.01 more than your own mother? Then we have a route for you. We're looking for a dedicated server engineer who knows how to keep the hamsters alive long enough to ensure that the wheels are all running at maximum capacity.
So yeah, fun stuff in there. I'm looking at expanding their team and getting more people on board. I think it's pretty exciting. And yeah, if you're...
Actually, the fun part is that it's not all just technical and game design. Yeah. They're also looking for an interface artist, technical artist, and sound designer.
Yeah, there are a wide variety of skills that are required to make a game. And,
which I know, if I remember correctly, there is a sound designer who's a part of the community who was trying to do some hex-based sounds. Go apply!
Yeah, why not, right? All right, he already has a job there. He's the monsoon holder and distributor. Little do they know, there's like a vault of monsoons, and Nero is just like, oh, I can just give them away. And someday somebody's gonna come knocking on his door and be like, hey, we need those monsoons back. We got to do something with them. And he's like, oh, yeah, let me get back to you on that. And we're gonna have to send a message to everybody that we've done and be like, sorry, Nero, can't get them back. They already, I don't know, melted them for crafting materials or something, right? Anyways,
like,
but
you're not fishing that one back. The lines broke. They're cast out. We're going to be giving them away.
So Nexus Tavern was the winner of the draft code, correct?
Yes.
So we'll need to send him a message at the end of the stream with the draft code. Enter that in game. You'll be in good shape. Congrats on that. Those are all of the initial giveaways. The only remaining ones are from Mr. Nero Generous over there. But who, like, I'm not joking. I would like to have a video of Nero reading all of Hogarth's text. I think it would be kind of fun. Yeah, that's good stuff. And we're going to be giving those monsoons away in just a second. Before we give away the monsoons, why don't we talk a little bit about our card of the week, which we completely blanked on. This one today is Time Warp, and you want to introduce it there, Mokog?
Well, this is if you are super familiar with Time Warp in general, this is the Rocky Horror Hex show. We will be doing the Time Warp again and again and again. It's just a step to the left. I don't know, I can't continue that because otherwise it's going to degenerate and be singing terribly, and I've already done that twice.
Yeah, you've already done that. Well, and even off stream, you have your video that I found quite amusing. So.
Yes, we'll keep that in passing. We'll let people find that and let them waste 5 minutes of their lives. So in any case, Time Warp is a 3-cost PVE 2 Sapphire Threshold constant. So this has got some cool stuff. So when it enters into play, you add a warp counter to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got stuff that has counters. That's not super unique. Now this adds a kind of a random element. So at the start of your turn, one of these happens at random. So you either add a warp counter, you add 2 warp counters, or it sacrifices to create a random troop with cost equal to the warp counters, and then it puts it into play. Now, the big difference about random troops, because we've got a couple effects similar to this, like the Jovial Pipit is a similar one, but not as random in how it occurs. In PvE, you have a lot more possibility of random troops. So you could get some super crazy stuff out of this after 1 or 2 turns. And I think just the idea now of random troops happening in PvE has a lot more 1, flavor value, 2, crazy value, and 3, actual board state value than it does in PvP. Yeah. And I like it. I think it's crazy. It's can be super fun, and and to be honest, it's a flying cow on a card.
Yeah. What's not to love? Flying cows on cards. I like it. It's a cool card. It's got like a big fun aspect to it, which is great. It's got the random aspect to it, which is great. I really like it. It's cool. I like a lot that the cost is just 3, so it's easy to just put it in there. You know, it's not like some cards that are a little bit gimmicky like this, where they're costed higher because they need to be balanced for PvE for PvP, where these random elements maybe not they're not as fun for high competitive setting against other people, which is great. I like it. And I
like how Zubrin calls us out on how we're not playing the Rocky Horror Picture Music. That's because technically I don't have the link to that set up.
Yeah, and I don't know how.
I'm sorry, you can't tell me Corey Jones is not gone.
In other news, it is the same as HexPrd is not a form of any other type of game you've ever seen before on any channel that is a game show or has trivia or questions, right?
Correct.
Something like that. But yeah.
I mean, because it's just a Hex parody.
Yeah.
You see what I did there? Oh.
If by parody you mean just like watching Penta.
He's got the memory for it.
Yeah, he does.
He's got this crazy recall.
Yep.
We need to like bring Watson in. Oh my god! Like if you need to press Penta versus Watson.
But anyways, back to the Time Warp. It can create random troops based on how many counters it currently has. The one thing is like you can't control when it's going to get sacrificed, which is it's part of the random element. Eventually you're going to get something. It might be awesome. It might not be. I want. It creates the God mode troop, this broken thing that very rarely appears, but when it does, it's like, oh, get wrecked. And I want to see that, like the accidental pulled from the void kind of thing. I also want to see one where it like randomly it sacrifices itself and creates 2 time warps, and brings it back or keeps going.
All right, so here's something crazy. So let's maximize time warp spell. And for your Time Warp, whenever it changes into a troop, it changes into a troop with a random card effect. So the thought is that your crazy version, it would Time Warp into a Time Bug that happens to already have the same effect of Replicator's Gambit on it.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, it just Time Warps into something incredibly broken. I like it. But yeah, you're saying God
As
Cow.
As God Cow confirmed.
But yeah, so that's our card of the week. I think we're probably on wrap-up phase. Let me make sure we didn't miss anything here in the show notes. I want to give a couple more shout-outs before we wrap up with these final giveaways here. So we talked a whole bunch about PvE experience. We talked about our card of the week. We talked about the upcoming community events, which we're going to talk about one more quick time. The Streamerathon last week, that was a lot of fun to watch. And it was fun to watch Corey talking about all the PvE and being the first one to play it there. And just overall, a lot of stuff to talk about. Very exciting time for Hex with PvE coming back this weekend for another taste of it. Who knows what changes we'll see. Hopefully we'll see some. And it's just exciting. There's going to be another free tournament this weekend on the test server. And one cool thing that I meant to mention is, we did talk about the Ruby Cup happening this weekend. It can be a lot of fun. If you haven't signed up for it already, I highly recommend that you do. I will probably not be playing in it. It's going to be my birthday that Saturday, so we're going to be doing all kinds of awesome stuff celebrating that. But in other news, I would say you should go play the Ruby Cup. And the nice part is it's a free tournament. It's got a huge prize pool. And, they're having this other tournament on the test server. You know what? Hypothetically, you could be joining both. because they take
Yeah.
place at different times and they're in different clients. You could be playing on the live one at one time and the not live one, or the test server at the and side by side, and you could still do them. I
Are
recommend.
you talking about dual boxing?
Kind of, I guess, maybe.
You're
But
dual
either way,
clienting.
I really recommend playing in the Ruby Cup. These community events, all the guys running them put a lot of effort into it. I know they appreciate seeing a lot of people participate in it. That's kind of part of the fun. And you'll be able to tune in to their stream on their channel, where they're going to be webcasting or broadcasting, shoutcasting, whatever you want to call it, over some of the games, talking about very fun stuff. The Ruby Cup, definitely tune into it. And I didn't even have my link in here. I had to bring it up, but you can go sign up there on the 5 Shards site. If Zubrin's still in here, I would recommend him linking that for me, or if Mokog somehow brought it up, perhaps that would also be good. But that's going to be this weekend, 5 Shards tournament, Saturday morning. And they're doing door prizes too, so even if you're not doing so well in the tournament, you still have a chance of winning something that's super, super sweet. Some of those door prizes are absolutely bonkers. Yeah, I think it's start at 9 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure you have your time zones right there too. You don't pull a function and sleep in because you misread it, or you just slept in, because that's what I do anyways. Yeah, so that's a good thing. I highly recommend everybody playing it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, you can look forward to the HexTech Brigadon Challenge happening the 28th of this month. That's going to be fun times. So that's my little plug about fun events that are coming up on the Hex Horizon. And definitely participate then.
Monsoon.
Oh, it's monsoon time. Yes, I think it's the time everybody's been waiting for. We'll hide the time warp there, and we're gonna roll the dice. We're gonna save the best for last here. So these first, what people are winning as we're doing the prizes as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
cool.
got a list. My list is like right here. See.
Yeah. You're my assistant here. So this is gonna be the very first winner here. We're gonna roll this, and here we go. So Swordil, with some goofy smiley face thing that looks like incredibly creepy, is going to be the winner of the very first monsoon that we're giving away tonight. We still have 3 more to give away. We're going to do 2 rolls for them. And yeah, why don't we go ahead and we're just going to fire them off, Mokog? Is that the plan?
You know what? That sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay.
Whoa, that is a crazy smiley face.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy, I'd say. Swordil, congrats. You're going to need to send me what your in-game name is. Preferably send it to me on Twitch here. If you just don't send it to me in-game, because I don't know that it's really you kind of thing, so send me what your in-game name is. I'll send you over one soon. So congrats on getting that. The bunny from bringing people back from the dead. Awesome card. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fire off the next one. And here it goes. You ready, Mokog? Let's
rock it.
All right. That Zubrin, though, rolling on the monsoon. Mr. 270 legendary chest there. Zubrin winning another monsoon. Or not another. This is winning the other monsoon. Yeah, congrats to Zubrin. I will be sending that to you in-game as well, assuming that he wants and everything like that. So congrats, buddy. That would be my first monsoon. His first monsoon, but you can re-roll it. Why don't we? I mean, you say I can re-roll it, and tell me whether or not you want to do this. But can you just make it a door prize for the tournament this weekend?
Let's do it that way. Just add it to the door prizes.
So I'll wait for a yes or no on making it a door prize for the tournament. But assuming, give me the thumbs up or thumbs down. I wouldn't imagine that you wouldn't want to do that, but yeah, make it a door prize for the tournament this weekend. Reroll, and I'll send Zubrin 4. Well, we'll do both. Zubrin, would you like this as a door prize?
Nero?
It's Nero though. But yeah, let me know. Door prize, yay or nay. And then I think you should reward the watchers. Okay, we'll do that. I appreciate that, Zubrin. Thank you, good sir. We will go ahead and re-roll this. Good guy, Zubrin, as well as good guy, Nero. All right, here comes the roll. Yeah, they have a bunch of prizes this weekend. It is insane. They have a ton of prizes. All right, here goes the roll. This is for, yeah, the roll again. To Kispum, who, with an M, not an N. Kispum is the winner of the second monsoon here. and we have one final roll, and it's going to be for a double monsoon, which is fun stuff. Good time. So, Kissmom, hopefully you're still listening in. I'm going to need a message from you with what your in-game name is. Send that to Funktionfails on Twitch, and we will be in good shape. And Monsoon's helping, or not Monsoon, Mokog, yes, that's who I meant to say, is helping me write these down.
I'm just saying that, like, Kissplum is not following the channel. Follow the channel, please.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't even, that's not even us being greedy telling you to follow our channels, which we will do in a second with our shameless plugs of the week. You know, this is the Hex channel. We want to be promoting the game, get everybody in on it. Speaking of promoting the game, before we even get into the plugs, we normally even include this in part of the plugs, but I'll say it right now. If you're new to the game, if you this is your first time seeing Hex, we've got a whole bunch of people here tuning in on the channel. We've got about 80 or so people tuned in, and you know, go to HexTCG.com. You can download the beta client. You can take part in the game right now. They're going to be launching the arena servers back up this weekend. If you didn't already create an account, it's too late, but there's no harm in making one now, and that way next time they fire up the arena servers and add the newer people back into it, you'll be able to. And that's some like free-to-play content that you can be looking forward to, is the arenas. They're really cool. They're going to be a lot of fun, and as things get more and more the quality of them continues to be improved, because they're in their kind of like alpha testing the arena stage right now. It's going to be even more exciting. So that's definitely something pretty awesome to be looking forward to. What do we have? Links going on? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, there we go. So that's all going on. We still have one last giveaway to do. Do we want to do our shameless plugs before we do this last giveaway?
Yeah, let's go ahead and kick on some shameless plugs.
Okay.
So, I already posted up in the chat to make sure that you go ahead and visit HexTCG.com. That's going to be your primary source for all the news, all the major updates that are coming in. They have a tendency to update on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, sometimes all 3 days, sometimes 1 day a week. There's almost always a Friday update, and when we're lucky, there's Wednesday updates. But you can also get some special stuff if you follow them on Facebook. They do special stuff through Twitter. One of the initial announcements they did on jobs, you found out through Twitter. So if you're following them through Twitter, you got the first set to get your application in there, you know, nice and quickly. But in addition to that, go ahead and be sure that you also follow Function and myself on our main channels here on Twitch, but also go ahead and follow us on Facebook. We have some content on there, anything from like different ways to get your drafts better to some of the crazy nonsense that I do. All that good stuff is available on Facebook. Be sure that you, when you're checking out the channels, there's quite a few other streamers that we have out there. Some are doing absolutely fantastic content, and the ones who are doing even better than fantastic content. So we have a really cool, kind of close, tight-knit community going on so far.
Yep.
And it's actually one of the best parts about the game. One of the things I like is that we don't have any unhealthy rivalries running so far in any of our content creators, which is something to be so extremely proud of. Yeah. That we're all working together to just keep boosting and laying down all the bricks to make the house of Hex even better and stronger.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So always a pleasure to be streaming on this channel, as well as be joined here in chat by a number of other streamers and other popular community members. Much appreciated for you guys taking part in making this stream successful, as well as just making the game successful. It's a lot of fun. We got good stuff. So we got our monsoon up here. Hopefully I actually didn't fail the window. I think this is one of the very first streams where we didn't have so much fail. We lost Mokog on a couple things there with but that wasn't really our fault.
It's still a fail. We got our requisite amount of fail. Yeah. As long as we don't fail on giving away 2 more monsoons, everyone's happy.
So in that case, to make sure that we fail, I'm the winner of the 2 monsoons. You guys have a nice night, and see you later. No, that's not how it works.
No,
All right, we're gonna roll here.
Give away those monsoons.
Yeah, well, let's bring up the giveaway here again, one last time. So screen region. Don't want to cover up ourselves. We'll do it like this.
Equipment. Play this as can only receive a monsoon Shogun Wind of Jin when opening booster packs.
Yeah, I like that. That is pretty good. Oh, that's quite good.
And once he equips, he can't take it off.
Yeah.
So the only time that he could ever get actual So it'd be every time he crack a pack. So
Yeah.
the only time he can get new cards is he has to draft the whole time.
Or he has to he has to trade these away to get them. It's you know what it is? He's been given a million monsoons, and what is it? Is it Brewster's Millions? Is that the movie that I'm thinking of, where he's got to give away $1 million and then he gets $5 million or whatever, right? And it's like that. He's got to give away a million monsoons because then there's 5 million monsoons more waiting for him, something like that. Anyways,
that would be crazy. Like if for every monsoon he gives away, he gets like 4 more.
Yeah, it's created a loop. It's just incredibly broken.
That is the most awesome loop ever.
But Nero, ever the guy. We're gonna go ahead and roll here.
We got some last minute entries. It's the last time, guys. I'm stalling for you as long as I can.
Yeah.
It's only going to be just a few more moments. He's probably already
no longer. I'm gonna click it right now. The stupid idiot is the winner of the last 2 monsoons here. Congratulations, Sir Idiot, Sir Stupid, or Sir the whichever one happens to be the last name. Or however you prefer to be called. But yeah, Stupid Idiot is the winner. Everybody is currently cursing your name, I'm sure.
But that makes me feel so bad saying their name because I don't want to call them stupid or an idiot.
No.
But the Stupid Idiot, you win!
Okay, so you're winning 2 monsoons in that case. Pretty bonkers. The giveaways today were pretty insane, especially thanks to Nero making them possible. Good guy over there. And, helping support the stream, because helping create more giveaways, always a pleasure. I will say it felt like today we talked a lot. We went over time by quite a bit than we usually do. We usually try to keep it to about an hour and a half. Today we went to about 2 hours, but there was a lot to talk about. PvE, very, very exciting, and it's coming back this weekend, so I'm excited for that. Get some more testing in, get some more playing, and we'll see how stuff changed. Hopefully, some bugs are gone, some more equipment's working, all kinds of other fun stuff is going. And so yeah, Stupid Idiot, be sure to send me on Twitch what your in-game name is, and that way I can send you the monsoons. I think even Batsui, I forgot the spelling by now, so you're going to have to send me the in-game name just through Twitch, hopefully. But yeah, it's a big help to me if you send me your in-game name on Twitch. It takes a little bit of time to send these out, so be a little bit patient, but they will be to you within the next 30 minutes or so. Yeah, thank you for the well wishes on my 30th birthday coming up this weekend. It's gonna be a good time. Maybe go see a Blackhawks game, I think is what we're gonna be doing on Friday night. It's a bummer missing the Sharks. Went to one of those almost every year for the past couple of years, back in San Jose. They're still my main team.
Miro's asking, what card do you want for your birthday?
What card do I want for my birthday? I don't even know.
Is it a monsoon?
I got plenty. I think that's the only card Nero can give away. I got plenty of monsoons. I don't know what I would want. I would want something kind of wacky or something. But I don't know. Something goofy.
Well, you should have another Jankbot.
Another Jankbot? Because I'm giving them away today. No, I don't even know.
Something crazy.
I don't need to worry about that. I got plenty of cards.
Give him you know what he needs, Nero? He needs a fungal monstrosity. He doesn't roll enough PvP. He doesn't roll enough chests to have one yet. Send him a fungal monstrosity.
I think I probably do have I think I have a couple fungal monstrosities. I don't think I have the sous chef though, or whatever. No, I even have that.
Well, the fungal monstrosity is the legendary card.
No, what I really want is most OP PvP card out there. Best dungeon card in existence. Zodiac Shaman, way too strong. Needs to get nerfed. Way too strong. But yeah. Anyways, fun times. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and thank you for the well wishes. I appreciate it. And we will see you next time, same place, same time, here on the General's Tent on the official HexTCG channel next week, 4:30 Pacific time. And always fun stuff. You have any last words to say there, Mokog?
No, I will never have last words. There shall never be a catchphrase. It shall never ever happen. Never.
All right. Well,
I resist the catchphrase.
Okay, what are you saying? Okay, we'll say this real quick before we end the stream. Motivation saying, guys, I need advice. I don't have a ton of cards. What should I do to get some stuff quick to be able to build a competitive deck for the Ruby Cup? I would say, settle on what the deck actually is, and you can either draft, you can spend a couple bucks on buying those cards on the auction house. You're going to have to acquire them some way. They're not going to be free. But, I would say if you were looking at building a cheap deck that still has a chance of getting some wins in there, that Gorefeast deck that I was running in the Primal Cup, or Goremaster, I should say, that one's pretty cheap to build. It doesn't have any of the more expensive cards like extinctions or mirror knights or other shenanigans which can get pretty high up there. It's got Goremaster and Boulder Toss and Gastrol, all which can put in quite a bit of work, so maybe think about doing that. You have Grand Kings, so you have a ton of packs. Maybe sell a couple of those packs for gold or for platinum, and then just use the platinum to get the cards you need. I think that's probably the best way if you have a bunch of them.
It depends on how much time you have to play. So if you have the time to play between now and Saturday, draft and select what you're going to need. Going through the draft is kind of a rare select, so pick your deck out and then play enough drafts to start pushing through your packs profitably to go that way. If you don't have that time...
That's a lot of time.
If you don't have that time, which is understandable, then go ahead, take $10, maybe $15, find your deck list, and play the auction house over the next couple days. Look for the times when the cards dip down. Remember, you still have the ability to go query out to the server.
So it'd be easy enough to just sell some of those packs you got, which are going at a pretty decent rate, and then crack some of them, but really selling them. Yeah. And then you could buy the cards you need and be in good shape. And the other thing I would say is try to do it sooner rather than later, because the more practice you have with the deck, the more likely you're going to be able to do pretty well in the tournament. Like always, whatever deck you do decide on, there's a whole bunch of deck articles on 5 Shards, on Hex Primal, and on HexTex. You can go on there, as well as on the forums or on Reddit, always other options like that, and you'll be able to find a deck. I would say settle on something, the sooner you do, the better, because then you can get some practice with it, you'll be more comfortable, and you'll know some of the more intricate plays that are going on with it. So that's probably the best advice I would say, and it's time to wrap stuff up and get back to probably having some dinner, because I'm kind of hungry.
Thanks for watching. Be sure you click that like and subscribe button to help support the channel. Also, leave a comment below. Your thoughts and suggestions are always welcome. If you'd like to check out some of additional content, we have a couple links to videos below, as well as a link to our Twitch channel, where we'll do a giveaway every time we do a stream for Hex. We can give away everything from cards to packs to gold. All sorts of things can be done on the Twitch channel. Also, I really like to thank you for making it to the end of the video. Not everyone watches to the end. It really matters for how the channel operates, and every second that you're here watching provides support. Thank you for giving me your time and energies. And as always, I'm Mokog, and this is HexHunter.